It's the third day. I can't get comfortable. I just thought I'd try to sit somewhere different because this is going to be a 5-part series on, based around my introduction to YouTube and how I'm going to be a content creator moving forward. Today I just wanted to talk about, as you've read the title, I just want to talk about how you can use isolation to bring yourself into a better person. You can bring isolation into a place where you can make yourself become heard, make yourself become stronger and better as a whole. I have no problem with people saying that they need a break and they need to isolate themselves for a while and just they need time on their own. But I've noticed that there are some people out there who need that more. They need to be heard more, and it's not really, something that I thought would ever clash into my mind, but I found God, and through that it taught me a lot about isolation and how a lot of Christians, as we know, in today's modern era, I'm one of them myself, I'd say, a lot of Christians are solo. But God knows that that's a bit of an issue, because when you're alone and when you're isolated, you're prone to the devil, not just God. You have to remember, if you want to go in isolation to find God, you will be faced with challenges as well. I'm going through them currently myself. Today, for example, I faced some challenges that, I sort of knew was going to happen, but I was like, yeah, I'm ready to take it on board for the future. And it really touched me. It really touched me when I faced those challenges today, and I faced up to those, those trials, because people just go day by day and they don't really see those little things as challenges. No one sees the little things as challenges anymore, because to them it's just another thing to be disobedient and not caring about. But you should care. You all should care, and I encourage you to care. Right now, I'm in the walls of the church. I'm next to the walls of the church right now, and I can tell you one thing: being here every day is more than enough to say abundant, for the least. It's more than enough. The birds are tweeting. There's cars going past just next to me. It's not too busy on the road. People are just coming home from work. People are just doing their own thing. But even when, even if you do have a car and you are on your own and you find yourself in that isolated, because isolation, it doesn't necessarily have to mean a long period amount of time. What you can do with that isolation is it can be 30 seconds, it can be a minute, it can be 10 minutes. And I'm taking cars as an example. If you're on your own and you're a single father, for example, who's just in the car getting back to their wife and kids, if you're that father out there, and I know someone who's watching this might be in that situation, if you are that father who goes home after a long day of work and drives home to their kids and their wife, and same for you women out there too, guys, all of you, if you ever are travelling back home and you're going home to your kids or whatever, you got to remember that is still a time of isolation before you see your kids. Thank God. Thank God. Thank the praise the Lord. Count all the blessings you've had today. Count all the blessings you've had today and be proud of those blessings. Remind yourself that you've done more challenges today. You've taken more steps in where you want to go. But don't get lost when you're in that isolation. Remember that you are faithful. You have to be faithful to just be accepting into God's heart. God's heart will show you. He will show you the power He has, the wisdom He will carry for you, and all of the elements that you could possibly think of that match to create the person that you are today. Think about it. Every single event in your life that has happened right now has led up to this moment, hasn't it? It's led up to this moment, and now you're thinking, you're probably watching this video and you're thinking, okay, he's got a point, but where does isolation come into this? Where does peace come into this? Well, a lot of people often find that, including myself, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but whenever you feel isolated, you kind of feel a mix of emotions. You feel happy because you're having time on your own, but you also feel a bit unease. And the reason probably is because you're alone and you're quite vulnerable to the devil. You're vulnerable to the devil and you're vulnerable to temptation, but you're also in that point where you can also seek God and talk to Jesus. Talk to Jesus. Tell him that, thank Him for the great day you had today. Thank Him for the meals you had before you had this moment with Him. Thank Him for the fresh air in your lungs, the breath in your lungs. Like, not all people, have the health that you have. Not all people have all 4 limbs on their body. Not all people have 2 arms and 2 legs. Not all people have ears. Not all people can hear. Not all people can see. Not all people can think properly. And if you are perfectly fine and you do have good health, be grateful for that. Accelerate your gratitude with that. Because that's where the real money is. The real money is right there, and I can feel it. Because every time I talk about money, I get shivers down my spine. Because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to wealth. I don't talk about cash. I don't talk about materialistic things. They don't bother me like they used to. They used to bother me a lot. But they don't anymore. Because I used to be envious of people who did own those things and I didn't. Because I thought I deserved it more because I was a better person. But the news flash is, I'm no better than anyone else. You're no better than anyone else who's watching this right now. So when you're isolated, you'll start to think of all these different things. But it only comes to peace. Find peace. Have that peace within yourself. You're only at peace when you're on your own. Just try 10-20 minutes out of your day. No phone. Meditate. No noise. No one's talking. No noise at all. No noise. And try to think of all the good things. Batch up all the things that you've had great happen to you in your life so far. And you'll find that they were worth it. Don't ask yourself if they were worth it, because they were, I promise you. I bet the other person on the end of the screen right now, I bet you can understand that. You can understand how easy it is to latch onto negative things, especially after you've thought of a bunch of great things. We tend to do that. But if you just hold on to that circular ball of energy, of positive energy, just be happy with yourself, you know? Like, I think it's really hard, it is really hard to be someone who wants to strive for perfection and wants to be on their own all the time and wants to be at peace all the time. It's not possible. You have to balance those things. I can tell you, as someone who's been through that myself, my word of advice to you is try to balance your life out as much as possible and don't panic, because again, nothing's going to be a single leap, right? Come on, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that, click of a finger, like that. No way. It's a process. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes discipline. But smile all the way through. Plan all the way up until the end. Plan that all the way up until the end. Because you'll realise that it's easier. It's much easier when you try to balance your life out. Balance work, balance health, balance finances, balance family, balance time with yourself, balance time with Jesus. Jesus loves you, my friend. Make the devil mad. Make the devil angry. Make him furious. Make him so mad at himself that the reason why he lost to God and he thought he was all powerful against God was because he thought he was stronger. And soon did he realise that he had to be humbled. And if you are facing, thoughts of the devil when those moments do arrive, then just remember that. Just remember that. Just remember, Jesus died for you. Jesus sacrificed himself for you. Along, out of all the things. And yet the devil is the one who's trying to tempt you that all things are bad and that you should suck everything up and move on and that your depression will never be fixed, you just have to deal with it. Like, come on now. I've seen a lot of Christian related content recently and I must say I'm impressed. I'm impressed with, all of them. I'm impressed with all of them. Because even they seem like themselves that they went through a period of that isolation, right? Completely lost in life. Completely lost in life's curiosity. Completely lost in the curiosity of the world. And then we met God. We met God for the first time and he changed our lives around completely. He says you can choose two paths. You can choose the first path, which is easy, but later on is going to be ridiculously hard. Or you can choose the second path, which looks boring, absolutely monotonous, to drain you completely out of your soul until you realise that at the end it was worth it. That's what Jesus does for you, my friend. He puts you through trials on purpose, puts you through tests, This whole life that we're living in right now, it's a test. It's a complete test. And there's no way that you can't get through it either. So I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't watched my other 2 videos that I've posted already, please go watch them. You know, I really appreciate it if you just give them a watch if you haven't, you know, watched the other ones already. But this is my 3rd upload, like I said. The other 2 are coming out on Friday and Saturday. I'm going to be posting them on Saturday, so they should be out by Saturday. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.